So, every coach I know has a few amazing clients, people who got real results and genuinely loved the experience. But when you ask those coaches how many testimonials they have on their website, the answer is almost always the same: not enough. And it's not because your clients don't want to help you out. It's because asking for a testimonial feels awkward, and most coaches just never do it. So here's how to ask for a client testimonial without making it weird. Plus, I'll give you the exact email template and 10 questions that pull out the best responses. By the end of this, you'll have everything you need to collect testimonials that actually convince new clients to say yes. Before we get into the how, let me explain why testimonials are so important, especially if you're a coach. About 9 out of 10 people read reviews before they spend money on anything. That's a huge number. But for coaching, it matters even more than it does for, say, buying a pair of shoes. Coaching is deeply personal. Your style, your energy, your approach, those things matter a lot. A potential client isn't just wondering if your service works, they're wondering if it works for someone like them. That's what a great testimonial does. It lets a real person describe what it was actually like to work with you from their perspective. And that kind of social proof hits differently than anything you could write about yourself. You can have the best website copy in the world describing the transformation you offer. But when someone else says it, when a real client says, "She helped me completely turn my business around," that carries weight. It's one thing to say you provide transformational coaching, and it's another thing entirely to have 5 people on your website who can back that up. And here's the part most coaches miss. The bigger the claims you make on your site, the more you need testimonials to support them. If your homepage says, "I help women build 6-figure businesses," you'd better have at least one testimonial from someone who did exactly that. Otherwise, your leads are going to think it sounds too good to be true, and they'll bounce. Testimonials are also incredibly versatile. You can use them on your website, in your social media posts, on Pinterest, in your email sequences, even in paid ads. One great testimonial can work across your entire marketing strategy. So here's where most coaches get stuck. They know they should ask for testimonials, but they don't know what to say or when to say it. The best time to ask is while you're still actively working with someone or right after you finish. The experience is fresh, they're feeling good about the results, and they're more likely to say yes. And the key insight here is that you don't ask them to write a testimonial. You ask them to answer a few questions. There's a huge difference. Writing a testimonial from scratch feels like homework. Answering a few questions feels easy. Here's the exact email I use. Feel free to adjust it to match your voice and your brand. "Hi, first name. I wanted to drop a quick note to say how grateful I am that we've been working together. I hope we can help each other shine. Would you be open to filling out a quick testimonial form? Instead of having to come up with something from scratch, I've put together a few easy questions. Then I'll draft something from your answers and send it over for your approval before anything goes live. Here's the link. And if you'd like to include a headshot to go with it, I'd really appreciate that too." That's it. Short, warm, low pressure. Notice a few things about this email. First, you're telling them they don't have to write anything polished. They just answer questions. Second, you're promising they get to approve the final version. That takes all the pressure off. And I want to be really clear about this part. When you draft the testimonial yourself from their answers, you're not putting words in their mouth. You're taking their real words and highlighting the best parts. What results did they get? What changed for them? That's the transformation you want to emphasize. And they've already told you about it in their own words. I set up my testimonial form on Paperbell, since that's where I manage all my client interactions anyway. The form goes out automatically, which means I don't have to remember to send it. Now let me give you the 10 questions I recommend putting in your form. These are designed to pull out specific, detailed responses, not just "she was great." The first question is, how did you find out about my coaching services? This helps you understand your referral sources. The second question is, what was going on in your life or business when you decided to work with me, and what challenges were you facing? This sets up the before picture that makes testimonials so compelling. The third question is, what else did you try before working with me, and what happened? This shows that other solutions didn't work, which makes your coaching look even better by comparison. The fourth question is, what made you choose me specifically? How did my coaching stand out? This gives you language about your unique value that you can use everywhere in your marketing. The fifth question is, what's been the biggest breakthrough you've experienced while working with me? This is usually where the gold is. This is the transformation story. The sixth question is, what's been your favorite thing about working with me? This captures the experience, not just the results. The seventh question is, what's been your least favorite thing? Now, this might surprise you, but including this question actually makes people more honest in all their other answers. It also gives you valuable feedback. The eighth question is, how would you describe my coaching to someone else? This gives you testimonial language written exactly the way a real person would say it. The ninth question is there anything you wish I'd done differently? Another feedback question that builds trust. And the 10th question is, would you recommend my coaching to a friend? And if so, can you explain why? A personal recommendation is the most powerful form of social proof there is. So you've got their answers back. Now let me show you how to draft a great testimonial from what they gave you, because this is where the real magic happens. There are two simple frameworks you can use. The first one focuses on overcoming a challenge, and the second focuses on loving the experience. For the challenge framework, you structure it like this. Start with a short sentence about what they were struggling with before. Then describe how you helped them overcome it. Then end with what their life is like now. Here's an example of what that sounds like. Before working with Tasha, I felt like I was walking through my life without a purpose. Tasha helped me flip everything around and rediscover my deeper why. Now, I feel like I know exactly where I'm going, all thanks to her. For the experience framework, you structure it differently. Start with how they loved working with you, then describe how your coaching style helped them, then end with something specific you did for them. Here's what that sounds like. I loved working with Sandy. Her no-nonsense approach made it so much easier to launch my business. She didn't just guide me step by step. She even personally wrote a mission statement that I resonate with so much. Both frameworks work because they tell a mini story with a beginning, middle, and end. And that's what makes people want to keep reading. Now, this is the most important thing in this entire video, and I want you to really hear this. Always, always get your client's permission before publishing their testimonial. If you're drafting it from their answers, send it back to them for approval. Ask if you can use their full name and link to their website. The more detail you include, their name, their business, even a photo, the more credible the testimonial becomes. Real names and real faces build trust because your leads can actually verify that this person exists. And that matters more than ever right now, because unfortunately there are brands out there paying for fake testimonials on sites like Fiverr. Having real, verifiable testimonials sets you apart from all of that. Let me share a few examples from real coaching websites so you can see what great testimonials actually look like in the wild. One coach's client said, I found my way out of my problems and focused on things that mattered most. I've gained clarity, confidence, and I'm happier now. Short, specific, and focused on the transformation. Another one said, Bridge made me confront my limiting mindset. I used to be a serial procrastinator, always saying when I really just needed to put my plans into action. 6 months ago, I used to dream about owning my own design business, and now I'm in the 4th month running it successfully alongside my day job. That one works because it has a clear before and after, with a specific time frame. And then there's this one. I've surpassed my money goal by 20 times and will very likely hit 7 figures this year. Now that's a bold claim, but it works because it has specific numbers and the coach was confident enough to let them say it publicly. Notice what all these have in common. They're specific, they talk about real results, and they feel authentic because they include personal details that you couldn't fake. So that's the entire process. You send a simple email with a link to your questionnaire. Your clients answer 10 thoughtful questions. You draft a testimonial using one of the two frameworks, and you get their approval before publishing it anywhere. The whole thing takes maybe 15 minutes of your time per client, and the testimonials you collect will work for you for years across every part of your marketing. If you want to set this up quickly, I use Paperbell for my entire client workflow, including the testimonial questionnaire. Everything lives in one place, so I don't have to juggle separate tools. You can grab a free account at the link in the description, no credit card needed, and get your testimonial form set up today.